What makes 5K specials special? That's right, the number 5. So for today's 5K special, we're going to be doubling the specialness by doing top 5 moments of Kris Komedies. I've picked out 5 categories of moments on the channel to rank, and I'm going to be doing the top 5 of each one. A quick disclaimer though, I like to like things, and my favorites tend to change a lot, so if you talk to me later and my top 5 is different than now, I just like to like things, what can I say? But for the first top 5 category, we're going to be doing top 5 custom Lego minifigs. And beginning my list of my top 5 custom Lego minifigs, I have to give 5th place to the cursed Minecraft villager. Now you might be wondering, how is he cursed? That's how. I've made a few joke custom minifigs before, but this one's definitely my favorite, especially since as he's being built, you think it's a normal Minecraft villager, and then bam, he has a tiny head, and that automatically means that it's funny. If you're curious how I made him, the first Minecraft sets actually were on micro scale, so I just used a micro scale villager head and put him inside a regular sized villager body. And that's how you make a cursed Minecraft villager. And for 4th place, I'm gonna have to give it to my Space Centurion. The thing that I really like about this minifig is combining any theme with space is a lot of fun in my opinion. You can combine any theme with space and you can make it look cool. But making a Roman Space Centurion just worked really well. I'd love to use this as a soldier in a stop motion one day. And speaking of characters I'd like to use for a stop motion one day, 3rd place goes to the Apocalyptic Survivor. I know that most of this minifig is just gray Star Wars clothes, but I really like how his helmet and goggles turned out. It gives him a real, like, surviving on, like, an apocalyptic Earth, like he's living in the desert off of scraps. It really just sells the vibes of someone trying to, like, survive in a harsh environment, and I really feel like he turned out well. I would love to make him be a main character in a video one day. And 2nd place for my custom Lego minifigs, I have to give it to the Lethal Company employee. He's not a particularly tricky one to make. It's simple, but I also just really like the game, and also I found that welding helmet and realized it would be a perfect fit for the Lethal Company helmet, and it just matched perfectly well. And also the fact that he has a shovel. If you've played Lethal Company, you know why he has a shovel. And then 1st place, my favorite custom minifig that I've made so far is Ninja Batman. Ninja Batman, I don't know what is with it, but the lighting worked really well with this minifig. It makes his weapons look like they're actually made of metal. I also like that everything on him is either black, gray, or silver except for his glowing eyes. So he looks just like a perfect Batman. Just turned out absolutely perfect as far as my custom minifigs are concerned. And so he just has to have the top of this list. For my second top 5, we're going to be doing stop motion shots. Just to be clear, I'm going to be judging only an individual shot from a larger stop motion. I will be judging the shot how it stands by itself, not with any of the build up from the rest of the video, just how it is by itself. I'm also going to be only picking one clip from each brick film that I've made. I don't want it to be a bunch of clips all from the same video for the top 5, so it is going to be from different stop motions. But enough about how we're going to do the list, let's begin it. In 5th place, I'm going to have to give that to My Cup Runneth Over from Psalm 23.
My cup runneth over.
This shot is relatively simple. It's just a piece of sticky tack with a Lego stud attached to it, slowly moving down the cup and then falling and splitting into 2 Lego dot pieces. It was a little tricky to do small movements, but it really wasn't that hard of a shot, all things considered. But the sound design for it, and also just like, it's a satisfying shot. It makes me happy. I'm just like, that turned out well. I like that. And sometimes that's just what gets you. It's like, it's a simple shot, but you like it. It doesn't have to be complicated. But moving on to a complicated shot, let's get to 4th place. In 4th place, we have directive fulfilled Thack arming arm. So in this stop motion, I had to make the entire video, not just this clip, in 24 hours. It was very stressful, but I was glad I did it. It was a lot of fun. My entry was about this robot, Thack. I named him after the contest. It's 24-hour animation challenge. I had some acronym for what his name stood for according to the video, although it's not said in the video. I'll put it up on the screen, that way you can see like what I named him. But enough about naming him. This robot was going around this space station fighting off the bad guys, and his arm could turn into a cannon. And because I had limited time, I think I did this in 1 or 2 tries for the cannon, and it turned out really well. I thought that it was a nice fluid motion, it didn't feel jerky, and it was just a fun, exciting twist, because they'd already seen him like crush a bad guy with his arm, and then his arm turns into a cannon, and it was just fun. And also the sound design came out really well for that one too. And then moving on to 3rd place, we actually have a tie because it's essentially the same shot, it's just the shot I really like to do. So it's the Spider-Man and Kraken 360-degree shot. This style of shot is so much fun to do. Essentially what you do is you just get a spinning piece below your base plate, or whatever, the mast of the ship in the case of the pirate one, and you just spin the shot. The camera stays still, you just spin the set piece as the video happens, and it just turns out cool. Now, I'd have to say the Spider-Man one looks more impressive in the sense that there's more movement going on, but it is a little bit more jerky just because it's one of my older animations. The pirate one I really like because it's just a really epic moment in the video and it's a good visual. So I couldn't really pick which one's my favorite. It kind of changes on the moment. So I decided to give them a tied 3rd place. And for 2nd place, I'm gonna have to give it to the Wise Man montage from Emmanuel. This shot was really fun to do. This shot actually didn't use a green screen. This shot, I just had a computer monitor behind the Wise Men, and it's just a PowerPoint slide with a photo moving like 2 pixels at a time. And then I kept the Wise Men on the camel and horses in the same place, with just the horses' heads bobbing up and down and the camel moving side to side. And everything on the base plate just moved around them. And I also made sure to change the lighting every time the screen changed to a new location, and that gave it a very nice travel montage effect, and it turned out really well. It is still one of my favorite shots, and it makes me happy whenever I see it. It kind of falls into a satisfying category, kind of like the Psalm 23 one. But now for 1st place, what is my #1 stop motion shot? It has to be the Mandalorian charge from The Mandalorian versus the Winter Soldier. I know that I've become a better animator since I made this shot, but this shot is just, it's such an epic moment, and it makes sense in the story as well. You've got a guy with a bunch of guns fighting someone with bulletproof and laserproof armor, and it just turned out really well. The music worked really well. The sound design's not as good as I am now, but it wasn't bad sound design, and it just really worked well for that shot. So even though it's one of my older stop motion shots, I have to give 1st place to the Mandalorian charge. Let's move on to the next category. The Daily Build series, while it was not completed in a year, was a lot of fun to do, and I'm glad that even though I finished it late, I did finish the series. So here are my top 5 favorite daily LEGO builds. In 5th place, we actually have a 4-part build series. We have the seasonal trees. So this challenge originally started off as a daily builds LEGO calendar, and then it later just evolved into my own ideas, plus ideas from you guys in the comments. But one thing I kept going is that the calendar had you build a tree, not pull it apart, and then you would modify it for each season of the year. Now I will admit I did accidentally forget, and I pulled it apart after I think the 1st season, but then I put it back together and I actually did modify the same tree for the rest of the series. But it was just a really cool build. It was simple, but it was a really cool way just to see my progress as I went through the daily build series, because my first builds were tiny. And even though the tree couldn't get that big, you could just see that I got so much better at building from the first tree to the last tree. So it's a really cool way to see my own progress. In 4th place, I'm gonna have to give it to one of my many LEGO swords that I have built. And while it's not the most detailed, it was the most durable and it was big. So I'm gonna give it to the broadsword. 4th place just has to be the broadsword. I like making life-size Lego weapons, and broadswords are just one of the coolest weapons you can have. That's just it. And it was actually durable enough I could like swoosh it around and it wouldn't break. That's a very important thing when you're making life-size Lego builds, is life-size Lego weapons specifically, is do they pass the swoosh test? Can you wave it around like a child playing make-believe and it not break? If the answer is yes, then it's a good build. But let's move on to third place. In third place, we have the Lethal Company spaceship. You may be noticing something. Kris, you must really like Lethal Company. Yes, I do, but it's not just because of that. The Lethal Company spaceship, if I do say so myself, it turned out really accurate, and especially when you consider that I had to make these relatively quickly. Well, I didn't always do them daily. I usually made them in like waves. So considering I didn't spend like days and days and days on this ship, I think I spent a couple hours, it turned out really well. Plus, I also made myself and my brothers on the spaceship, so that was a fun little self-insert into the build. And that, to be honest, is a stop motion I'd like to make one day. I know Lethal Company isn't really trending anymore, but the fact that I know I can build a good Lethal Company minifig now and a good spaceship, I just have to do it one day. So hopefully sometime down the line, it'll probably be many, many, many months, but hopefully sometime down the line you'll see this build in a stop motion. And in second place, we have the first time I intentionally made a cute build. Growing up, it was me and two brothers, and so I didn't have any sisters. Cute wasn't a word that was looked upon favorably in my house. But as I've grown older, I'm just like, you know what? Cute builds and cute things have a place in this world. And my first cute build that I really liked was the turtle crab. It was a random creature. I think this was back when I was using the calendar and not my own ideas. It just said combine two animals into a new creature. And so I combined turtle and crab, and it just turned out adorable. I don't usually try to make adorable builds, but he's just adorable. He's such a sweet, innocent little guy. So I don't even know how I'd make a stop motion with him, but I'd love the turtle crab to appear sometime again on the channel. He's just a cute little guy. And first place, here we go. For fans of the channel, you shall not be surprised. First place is a build that I've had to build by, at this point, probably 4 or 5 times. The Loch Ness Monster. Now, this started off simple. It was actually another cute build, ironically. I made a baby Loch Ness Monster, and I thought, oh, that's cute, that's fine. Like, half a year later, someone commented on the video, hey, I love this build, can you build it again, but a little bigger and a little scarier? So I did. I built it again, a little bigger and a little scarier. What do you think every comment on that video was? Can you make it again, but a little bigger and a little scarier? Including this guy, Giga Chad, who commented like at least a dozen times. I'll show his comments on the screen right now. They really wanted another Loch Ness Monster. So I built another really big one. And you think that'd be the end of it? No, people still bring up the Loch Ness Monster every now and then. The Loch Ness Monster will not die. I made a Christmas version of the Loch Ness Monster. And let's be completely honest, the Pirate Map series I'm working on, it's going to have a Loch Ness Monster. It's to the point where the Loch Ness Monster has basically become the mascot for this channel. And to be honest, I'm not upset about that. The Loch Ness Monster can be my unofficial mascot. Let's move on to the next top 5. Okay, enough about me talking about how great my builds, minifigs, and animations are. It is time for a helping of humble pie. It is time for not top 5. My top 5 lowest points on the Kris Komedies channel. Now, I'd like to begin with an honorable mention that my brother Kyle has started a trend that whenever I live stream, people will chant in the comments, sing, 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 until I sing a song. I am not that good of a singer. I've started taking voice lessons, but Rome wasn't built in a day and neither was my voice box. So, constantly singing in front of people while building Lego on a live stream has been embarrassing, but the reason it's an honorable mention and not one of the top 5 lowest is that it is helping me grow as a person, and I am feeling more confident. So it'll just be an honorable mention, but Kyle, I'm still kind of mad that you started that trend. Anyway, moving on to the actual not top 5. In 5th place, we have Darth Vader Samurai Style. Now, he's not actually my worst custom minifig. I mean, he's not like the best, but he's not the worst. The reason that he's frustrating is that as of right now, he is my most viewed custom Lego minifig. And he's definitely in like the low tier of my custom minifigs. And I'm just like, I get that Darth Vader was originally based on a samurai, so that's probably why this video did well. But I've got way better custom minifigs. Go watch those ones, please. So yeah, that is my 5th lowest point. And I know it's not that bad, but it gets worse. In 4th place, we have the AK-47. I'll just take that with me a second. Oh no! Let's see if we can make that connection more stable. More stable. Now, I know that I said I like making life-size Lego builds. I also said that it's important that they're durable. Yeah, the AK-47 did not pass this test, and not only did it keep breaking, that was on a live stream. I built that weapon live, and it was constantly breaking over and over and over and over again. So yeah, I was just like, man, this is embarrassing. I'm constantly having to rebuild the same build over and over again on a live stream. Everyone's judging me. And for the video about it, it did turn out well. Like, it looked good. But I just have flashbacks every time I see it to it snapping in half in my arms. So yeah, that takes my 4th, not top 5. In 3rd place, it's actually my 1,000 subscriber special. And here's the reason why. So the entire special was just a montage of different animation moments on the channel, but it was all to the beat of the music. Here's a clip of the music and some of the beat that you can see what I mean. So you'll notice, like, it's very much like to the beat. Each shot changes. And at the end, I did an outro, and it was kind of cringe on purpose. But then I had text flash on the screen like half a second before the beat drop, like this. And you might think, Kris, that's not that big of a deal. But the whole point of the video was that everything on the screen matched the beat. And my brothers pointed it out to me after I'd posted it. And I'm just like, oh man, I made a great 1K special. And then I just ruined it at the last possible moment. So that takes my 3rd, not top 5. And in 2nd place, I have to give it to my video Lego Races. Now, that was actually a video I still enjoy watching. It was my first video that I made with Filmora, so with my new editing software at the time. The problem is that I hadn't figured out lighting for Dragon Frame, and also I was still figuring out Filmora. So the beginning of the video that's filmed outside is completely washed out by light. The beginning is almost unwatchable. Once the cars are racing inside of the house, it's actually a fairly good video. The outside scenes are so washed out, and then also because I was filming it outside, the clouds would change. I filmed part of it at night, so the lighting in that video is a disaster until they get inside the house. I do want to make a sequel to that video one day. I will film the entire thing either inside or every outside scene will be filmed at nighttime to make sure that that doesn't happen again. But now you may be wondering, what takes first place of my not top 5 moments? And I also have to offer an apology with this one, because Ken Ham, I have hurt you greatly with this video. To be clear, he has not seen this video, to my knowledge. I hope he hasn't. It is Antis and Genesis Noah's Ark Lego style. I did this goofy video where I made a Lego Noah's Ark, and he like went around the Ark encounter, and to be clear, I just made Lego Noah, not the Ark, just Lego Noah, and I just took pictures of him in front of the exhibit, and I didn't plan what I was gonna do for the voiceover, so I just made them up when I got home and edited the video, which turned out with things like this.
This is me, Noah, and myself, Noah. There are 8 of us on the Ark. There's me, my wife, Shem, Ham, Japheth, and my 3 daughters-in-law. Though I can never remember their names.
So I actually showed this to some friends the other day, and they were just like, oh, but it has charm to it. Oh, but you're younger. It's cringeworthy. It's awful. People can try to defend it, but that is easily my least favorite video I've ever made. And I'm sorry, Ken Ham, if I ever have the opportunity to film another Lego thing at the Ark Encounter, I promise that it will be better than that one. And now we're actually going to take a quick break from the top 5 series because we're going to do a Q&A session. So let's begin. Andrew's Journeys asks, if there was any stop motion you would remake, which one would it be? So after I make almost any stop motion, within a few weeks, sometimes even a few days, there's always shots I wish I could reanimate. But one that would definitely be at the top of my list would be my first fight scene, Unleashed. I think I actually named it Unleashed 1 because I want to make another one day. Because it was my first fight scene, so yeah, there's a lot of progress I've made since then because I made that a while ago. And I've become a much better animator, and I'm like, but rewatching it, there was a lot of good ideas in the video. Like you could even tell like the shot ideas I was trying to do. And the thing is, I feel like I could do them now. So that'd be a fun one to redo and do it as like a side-by-side video. To be honest, I probably will do that at some point. I've just got a lot on my plate right now and some other projects that have got to happen first. But Unleashed would be at the top of my list of videos I would like to redo. Pretzel asks, if Lego remade your favorite figure, what would it look like? So the cool thing is that Lego actually did remake my favorite figure. My favorite is Basil the Batlord, and he actually got updated as the Vampire Knight. If they were to update another one, to be honest, there's a few Star Wars minifigs that I feel like that could do with an update. I feel like we haven't got a new Count Dooku in a while. A new Kit Fisto would be cool. But in terms of, if you want an opinion of what I think the perfect updated minifig was, it would be Basil the Batlord into the Vampire Knight. My only slight critique is that he originally had like a magic wand, and I get that the axe looks cool, but I would like it if there was a variant of him that kind of played more with like a new style magic wand. That would be pretty cool. For the next question, I have to scroll down a little bit. There we go. One Geode asks, oh, he has several questions actually. First of all, how long have I been making YouTube? Just over 8 years now, so it has been a while, although to be honest, I've been taking YouTube seriously for about 3 and a bit years. So it's not like I've been like really trying to make a career out of it for 8 years, more for 3 years specifically. His next question, are you planning on traveling? Well, I grew up in Australia. I moved here when I was 15. I haven't gone back to visit since I moved here, which was almost 11 years ago. So if I got to travel, that's where I'd want to travel. And am I planning on making a film type of stop motion? And just to clarify that, if you mean a feature-length Lego stop motion film, probably not, because that would be a lot of work. My Emmanuel film, that's 26 minutes, and that took me 5 months to make. So something like an hour and a half long would be pretty tricky. But if you're asking more specifically if I would make like something besides Lego stop motion, the most likely thing I would do besides Lego is honestly paper. I'm not gonna spoil that, but I've got an idea where I want to make a stop motion out of paper. But yeah, so probably not a feature-length stop motion in the near future though. And let's see, have I met a fan in real life? Yes, I have. I teach Lego classes at the Bricks and Minifigs in Springfield, Missouri. And I also work at Sight and Sound Theaters in Branson. And I've bumped into fans just coming to see the show, and they're just like, Mom, it's the Lego man. He's my teacher. And then they run up and they say hi. It's really cool. But I've never met someone who had seen me online first that wasn't already connected to me through someone else. That will be cool if one day I'm just walking down the street and someone's like, it's the Lego man. But yeah, so I've been recognized by like people from kids from my class, but other than that, I haven't like bumped into like a fan that was like, I saw you online. I didn't even know you were here. And then for the next question, Red's Dead Ahead 7 asks, am I going to consider making your Book of the Bible Lego builds into a stop motion short video? So first of all, if it hasn't come back yet, the Bible book series is about to come back. I've just been getting my studio set up, and honestly, life's been really busy. When the video's going up, I either will have just gotten married or I'm about to get married. Depends on how long I take to edit this. So life's been busy, but that will be coming back up. But to explain, am I going to make those builds into stop motion shorts? I'm not going to be animating those builds. However, I do have plans, and I'm currently working on plans for upcoming Bible stop motions. But if you're thinking about which Bible stories would I like to animate, Jesus is a big one. That's what I'm currently working on. It's still in the planning stage, so it's going to be a while before anything's out. Moses is a big one, especially the plagues of Egypt. And then Samson is also someone I'd like to really do one day. And then my brother, Cadenator Gaming, asks, dream stop motion project. So I've done 2 commissions that were music videos, and they're a lot of fun. But what I'd really like to do, as far as music videos go, I would love to do a commission for either Toby Mac or NF, because they both have really epic sounding music, and it would be so much fun to do like a really epic story-based one for like NF. Like with Toby Mac, he often has really deep songs, so I'd love to get to animate a music video for one of those. I mean specifically a commissioned one. I am going to experiment hopefully sometime soon with making like mini music videos in YouTube Shorts. So stay tuned for that one. So you might see some Toby Mac or NF on that. And then finally, Kimberly Joy Author, who's my mom, she asks, can you explain why you always end your videos with God is good? So first of all, I don't end every video that way. A lot of my shorts are kind of jokes in nature. I don't like to say God is good after a joke because that can sound disrespectful. But by and large, yes, I end my videos by saying God is good. And the main first reason is that I never want people to wonder, is this guy a Christian? Now, I hope I make enough Bible stories that you don't have to think about it. But also, with how crazy this world is, sometimes we just need a reminder that God is in fact good. This world might not be good anymore, but God is still good. And while I do like to entertain people on this channel, the thing that would bring me the most joy is knowing that I pointed people to Him through work that I've done here. Nothing would make me happier, and to be honest, I'm gonna blur out the name, but I want to show you a comment that I got a while ago. So it's right up there, and it's about someone, they were talking about the Bible book series, which is why I want to get it back up and running again. And they said, I'm an agnostic, but I really love how you've taken this really creative approach to showing the Bible to people who don't know it. I'm summarizing a little bit. But that is why I do what I do right there. That's what gives me joy and strength to keep doing this. But yeah, so that's the Q&A session. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to do another Q&A video. So especially since at this point you've been watching this video for a while, if you have any questions, comment them below. I will answer them in a video. So please, if you have any questions, please leave them below. I read all my comments. My channel's not so big that I am not reading all my comments. I will read all of them and I will answer your questions. But now, let's move on to the 5th top 5. And here we go. 5th place goes to Psalm 23. This is one of my more recent stop motions, but it's also special in the sense that it was my first time intentionally making a video that was calm, soothing, and slow-paced. My friend Connor Finn, who's actually one of the actors who plays David at Sight and Sound, actually worked with me on this. He voiced David for the Psalm 23 animation, which was really kind of him. I had a lot of fun working with him on this. But this was just such a special animation to get to work on, and it was a good thing to get to animate just a chapter of the Bible as it is written. I would definitely love to do one of these again in the future. So if you have any ideas for like different Bible chapters or Psalms you'd like to see animated in this style, please let me know in the comments. 4th place goes to Spider-Man Returns. This was a fun one to animate. It was so much fun. The background for this animation is almost always a computer monitor with just a picture of the background, and it made the lighting look so much better than you can usually get on a green screen. I know some people can really work wonders with lighting on green screen, but for me, I found that having a monitor in the background is just one of the best ways to do lighting. And then the action for it is fun. My only slight complaint with this animation is that I started off pretty slow with a lot of dialogue, and when you're doing a superhero film, that's not what you want to do. So next time I do a superhero stop motion, my plan is for the opening shot to be someone getting punched in the face. But moving on to third place, we have Directive Fulfilled. So this was my entry into the 24-hour animation challenge, and I think I ended up making the whole thing in about 16 hours, and it turned out really well. My favorite thing about it is that all the laser shots is practical. So all of those are just Lego pieces with really bright light shining on them, and it really changed my opinion on, at first I was wondering like, oh man, I'm gonna have to learn to animate lightsabers and laser blasts, and I'm like, and I meant like in After Effects. But then after making that one, I'm like, I really like practical Lego pieces being the lasers. So that video is a special one to me, also because of the stress that had to be overcome in making it in less than a day. Second place has to go to Emmanuel, of course. My Christmas stop motion. This video is 26 minutes long, took me 5 months to animate, and I don't regret a second of that. It was so much work. It was my most expensive animation I ever did. That was pretty much all I did outside of my day job for 5 months. Like, I did that constantly. But it was totally worth it. And I know I originally planned to make it sooner. I am working on the follow-up series, Jesus the Brick series. So I'm hoping, my goal is to start animating that beginning of next year. Bible stories take a lot more to plan. And same with Emmanuel, like of the 5 months work, I think like a month of it was planning. And it was so much fun to make. It turned out well, and of course, it's the best message to tell. So that is one of my favorite animations I have ever made. First place. Let's admit it, for those of you that have watched my channel a lot, you know what first place is. It is the Kraken. This is my only animation that I have ever won a contest with. This was for the Bricks and Minifigs, I think Summer of Stop Motion is what they called it. And I took first place. I heard there was like 300 entries. So that was really exciting because I don't even know if I'd even placed before this. So that was just really exciting. It was so much fun to make. It was just a chaotic battle scene. Originally I was calling it a fight scene, but it was a slaughter. The Kraken basically owns for like a huge portion of the video. So much fun to make. It was extensively green screen backgrounds on that one, but it actually turned out pretty well. With how big the background was, I didn't really have a monitor that fit the size of it very well, so I had to go with green screen. And all things considered, it turned out really well. And this animation just has so many moments in it that are cool. They're like it was very hard for me to pick a favorite shot from the Kraken because I like so many of them. And that is one that I hope that my next action sequence will be able to top it. But I don't know. It was one of my favorites, and it might stay that for a while. And there you have it. The top 5 moments of Kris Komedies. Thank you so much for watching, and I'd also like to thank all of you for support and reaching 5,000 subscribers. This channel has been so much fun, and I just can't wait to see what the Lord has in plan for this channel. And thank you so much for being here with me on this journey of creativity and fun. I'd also like to thank my patrons, Ken, Trey, Tess, and TJ for supporting this channel financially. Once again, thank you all so much. Have a good one, and remember, God is good.